welcome back to the channel. Today we take a look at the Atlas PT Ultra, a new camera from Reolink. Reolink did send me this camera for review, but did not pay me to make this video. And once inside, we find an operation manual and a sticker to indicate that you are recording video. And then when we dig deeper, we find the camera itself. It has some weight to it, but that's due to the internal battery. And at first glance it feels like a quality product. First we find a pack of screws, then the strap to attach it to a trio pole, a USB-A to USB-C cable, and finally the mounting bracket. That snaps on pretty tight. Underneath we find the Type-C interface port and the power button, a nice speaker for the talkback function or the alarm. And underneath the camera we find the SD card slot. And even though the camera has a 500 days battery life, this is the solar panel to make sure the battery stays full. And we also find an operation manual here. This feels really good, a metal plate with the solar panel and a USB-C cable that's long enough to put it somewhere out of sight. Here we have a metal bracket, bracket foam padding, USB-C to micro USB cable, and also a strap to mount it to a tree or a pole, and a bag of screws. Since I do not want to put an SD card in the camera itself, we're gonna use the Reolink Home Hub for this and store the data locally. Reolink has been so nice to send me 2 64 gig SD cards. Again, we find an operational manual in here and the warranty card. Here we find an Ethernet cable and the power adapter. And we also found a reset needle in the box. And last but not least, we find the Home Hub. And this also looks good and it feels like high quality. In the front we have a button with indication lights. And on the back we have a speaker, DC input port, 2 SD card slots and the Ethernet port. Let's prepare the device by putting in the SD cards. First we plug in the Ethernet cable in a 3-port on your switch. And the power adapter in a 3 outlet. And then it's as simple as plugging in the power cable and the Ethernet cable. Then we give it a nice spot and we're almost done. Now let's install the Reolink app. In my case we go to the App Store and when it's installed we can open it. We choose Start and agree with the service conditions and agree that Reolink can send us messages. We also agree that Reolink can send us critical messages. To easily add the device, we're going to give access to our camera and scan the QR code. And the device has been found. We are allowed to search local networks. Next we have to initialize the Home Hub. Create an admin password that meets the requirements. And we give the device a name. We also find out that special characters are not allowed in the name. Now we can format the SD cards. We choose Format, then OK to continue. Now that the initialization is complete, we continue with file encryption. Fill in an encryption key twice and be sure not to forget it. We fill in a hint just to make sure we don't forget the encryption key. And then we are finished. We can see we have the entire space at our disposal. And don't forget to claim your extended warranty. Since I don't yet know where this camera will eventually hang, I am making a mounting plate for it so that we don't have to drill unnecessary holes. Let's check. Yes, this is sturdy. If you like my videos, please consider to subscribe. This would really help my channel out. I am currently attaching the solar panel very close to the camera, but this is not necessary. There is a cable attached that is long enough to mount the panel out of sight. Also, the panel does not need sunlight all day to provide the camera with sufficient power.
Welcome to Reolink.
Now let's add
Please
the camera to the
Reolink
app.
and scan the QR code on the camera.
In the app, we're going to press the plus button and scan the QR code. Use with the Home Hub and confirm that we want to connect. Choose Next and press the power button 3 times. We allow to search for devices via Bluetooth and the connection has been made. We are now going to connect to the Home Hub's own Wi-Fi, so you don't need your own Wi-Fi network for this to work. We are switching it to our own network in a moment, and after that I will also turn off the Wi-Fi network on the Home Hub. Now we see some quick warnings from the app. Do not point the camera at bright lights or heat sources. This can damage the camera. The app also requires access to your photo library in order to save photos and videos. And here I'm going to reconnect the camera to my own network so that the Home Hub doesn't have to be near the camera. Now that the camera is connected to my own network, it's time to mount the camera and see what it can do. In the app you can watch the live footage in two different qualities, high and low quality. The low quality ensures smooth footage in the live view. To download the high quality footage, you must set it to high. So you can also play with the camera in the live feed, left, right, up and down to look wherever you want. And what strikes me immediately is that I missed the zoom function here. But for a security camera in this price range, this is absolutely sufficient. In the background you can see that I'm calibrating the camera, and this is recommended for first use. You can also go to a full screen display in the live feed, you get the joystick on the left and you see a few more details. Thanks to the onboard AI, we can enable the various detection alarms and also set the object size. What is the minimum and maximum object size the camera should react to. Sensitivity is also important. You don't want to set it too sensitive, but not too low either, because then it won't respond to anything anymore. Automatic tracking is a real nice feature, especially when you mount it on the corner of a house. The tracking method option is one choice only. And here you can adjust the horizontal tracking range. And of course the complete option list of emails and notifications that can be sent. One of the most important options is pre-record. The camera starts recording 10 seconds before motion is detected. This prevents this type of recording. Another really nice feature that you constantly see in the background is time-lapse. This is an option I don't have on my own cameras, but one that allows you to take very beautiful shots. We'll switch to footage where we show the tracking and test the sharpness. And our model of today is wearing a black fleece sweater, nice sweatbands and matching slides. And if we zoom in on the images, we see that I need to print it next time instead of writing it. It is annoying that the privacy block moves along with the camera. And if we zoom in very far, the map is no longer readable. The night footage is really amazing. The image you can see now is roughly the same shot but from my Ubiquiti camera, and as you can see there is a day and night difference. We have reached the end of this video and it's time to give my conclusion. It is a great device, good price range and provides a great picture. I only miss the zoom function. The app is extensive and well thought out, but not always self-explanatory. However, any beginner should be able to manage with it. There is also a web version available to view your images, but the web version is very basic, so this is actually a drawback. The Home Hub is an indispensable addition. You can store your footage locally on it. A disadvantage is the use of SD cards, but if you use SSD, the price will rise as well. And do not forget you can also attach your video doorbell or other cameras on the Home Hub. A massive thanks to Reolink for sponsoring this video. If you want to check out more details about the Atlas PT Ultra, then head over to my link in the description below. Then a special thanks to my Patreons who make this all possible. If you enjoy my videos, please leave a like and consider to subscribe. Feel free to reach out if you wish to contact me. I thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next.